Shut up, game. We're back. We're back with more Layton versus Wright. Game, shut up for half a second. It's not crashing. I just paused it. Welcome back to Layton versus Wright. It's been a long time. I just wanted to get the menu music out of the way because, as we know, it's loud as hell. Last time, there was a lot, and it's been a long time since last time. But, we met Phoenix Wright, you know, the baker himself. I believe that there was a murder that happened, and if not, we're about to get to that. There was also talk about a great witch who set fire to, I think, the tower in the middle of the town, or the town itself. I've got the broad strokes. It's just, it's been a month. So, either way, I'm here. Let's get back into some flippin' Phoenix in Layton. Right, we're starting with a funny cutscene, yeah. Well, maybe not so funny. It may have murder. Oh my god, I forgot to get a soundbite earlier today. Oh man. Well, I'll just make a note for that later.
We don't
Come bucket, shut up.
We don't want to hurt you, alright? Yeah, we just want your money, that's all. And you'll give it to us, won't you, without any fuss?
If I need to adjust the volume, let me know. I already adjusted it a good bit from Resident Evil. But if the game is still too loud, let me know. Yo, arson! Starting off strong. Chapter 2, The Fire Witch. Oh god, it's been a while since I had to do voice acting as well. Has it? I think it has. Yeah. Rats! What? What is this place? The room is lit, but it's still somehow dark. And the atmosphere feels heavy. Not sure, maybe the game could be just a smidge quieter. Okay, just a little bit. There we go.
Nick, what are we doing in a place like this?
How should I know? We're just a couple of bakers, but I don't think they brought us here to make bread. Yikes, is it me or is that guard staring daggers at us right now? Mr. Wright, Maya! Oh. How'd you like my night impression? It was pretty good. You scared the shit out of us. Ah, Espella, what exactly is going on?
I'm sorry. I was the one who sent for you both.
You sent for us?
I'm being put on trial.
Wait, what? What happened?
I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on. I didn't do anything wrong. I couldn't possibly murder anyone.
Murder?
I beg you, Mr. Wright, please, I need your help. Just one more time.
Huh? You need my help? What could I possibly do? Espella, I'm just a baker. The only thing I know about law is how not to get on the wrong side of it.
Wait, hold on a sec. Espella, what did you just say? You said you needed Nick's help just one more time.
One more time?
I'm not quite sure myself, but when the knights came and took me, a vision suddenly appeared in my mind. It was Mr. Wright. He was fighting for me, defending me. That brave blue figure, it was clear as day.
I was fighting for you? No way. That's impossible. I mean, it's like I already said. I'm just a baker. I have a hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending someone in court. I think I put the wrong emphasis on that. I have a hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending someone in court. Hard enough time rolling dough, let alone defending dough in court. I thought the same thing too at first. Perry, that's so stupid, shut up. But I don't think that's quite true. You and Maya, at some time somewhere, you helped me. You fought for me as a defender. A defender? Alright, have you gotten more British since last time, Aspella? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the same as always, isn't it? Maya, I think something's up with her. What's wrong, Nick? I wish I knew, Maya, but hearing Aspella mention a defender, I can't help but feel something inside me just burning at the mention of it. Accused! Defender! It is time! Head forth, you two! Head forth? Where exactly are we going? To the courtroom in which today's trial will be taking place. The Chamber of Fire. Chamber of Fire? God, it's already hot enough outside. What, are you trying to cook us? Yes, move along now. Make haste. If you're but a moment late, a guilty verdict will be delivered immediately. What? No way. Mr. Wright, I'm truly sorry, Mr. Wright. I know this is all so sudden. It's a lost cause, isn't it? Well then, let's head inside, Aspella. Huh? This overwhelming pressure. It feels so familiar somehow. It's like deja vu. Mr. Wright? Let's go, Maya. Maybe we'll get a better idea once the trial gets underway. All right, let's do it to it, Nick. All right, let's go. Oh yeah, don't we watch somebody get burned alive here?
It's like an oven in here.
I will now pronounce the verdict. This court finds the accused guilty of being a witch.
Oh yeah, I think we watched somebody die.
No, I'm not a witch. Please, I beg you to reconsider. I'm not.
Witches are to be cast straight into the hellfire.
What?
No.
God,
So this is the witch's court.
I may need to turn the game volume down a bit so my soundboard is a bit louder, because I don't think that Kirby scream came through. Hold on. Sound. Turn that down a good bit. That should be good. And turn this up a bit. Whoop. So, how are you feeling, Nick? I'd forgotten what this felt like up until now. Huh? The butterflies in my stomach and tension so thick you could slice it with a knife. All of these feelings. These are all feelings I'm definitely familiar with. Anyway, we're here to fight for Aspella and get her out of this place. That's right.
The court is now in session for the trial of Aspella Cantabella. Defender.
I did adjust the volume a little bit, so if it's too loud again, let me know.
Yes, Your Honor?
I both turned it down on my end and turned it up on the stream's end so that the soundboard could be a little clearer.
Yours is a face I've not seen in any past trials. But no matter. Start by stating your name, Defender.
Yes, Your Honor. My name is Phoenix Wright, Ace Baker.
A baker?
I asked him to come, my lord. I want him to represent me. This court dictates that the accused is free to assign a defender of their choosing, my lord.
Well, fuck, you chose
Very well.
poorly.
At any rate, the result of this trial shall not change. That aside, I've not yet seen hide nor hair of the Inquisitor assigned to this trial.
Oh boy.
Inquisitor? Oh, right. I should have noticed earlier. no one's there.
Should the assigned Inquisitor fail to appear in court, I will have no choice but to dismiss all charges. He is an Inquisitor of high caliber, but if he does not come forward soon, this trial will end, and victory will then be declared in favor of this baker.
Hold it!
Oh. Yeah. There he is. The real most underrated prosecutor in the series.
Knights of the Court, I have but one question for you both. Are you prepared to cross swords?
I, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum, am indeed prepared to do battle, my lord.
Phoenix is not having it, though.
Something amiss, Baker?
Sorry, Your Honor, I just didn't realize we could have swords here in the courtroom.
It is the way of the court knight. A knight must always ensure that he rides with a blade at his side. Now then, state your name, Sir Blue Knight.
Huh? My name's Phoenix Wright. I'm a baker. How many times will they make me say it?
A baker?
Nick, quit with the long face. You look miserable.
I am miserable, Maya.
No need to waste your breath. This trial will be over before you can utter a single objection.
What if I just did one right now, huh? What then, bits? Well, I guess I'm not
For the
objecting
security
anything,
of
so
all
it'd
of
be kinda dumb.
Labyrinthia, my blade shall rend your defenses swiftly and without mercy.
That's it, Barnum! Put another one out of their misery! This trial is pointless. Hand down the verdict already. Put that Dewey defender on trial too, I say! I love when, like, the camera is, like, sweeping around Phoenix when he has this fucking expression on it, because it just reminds me of the Metal Gear Solid thing with the Moai. Barnum could put me out of my misery any day. So true. The crowd doesn't seem very interested in law, that's for sure. It's like they're all just hoping for a guilty verdict. Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your your opening statement. You're not a witness. Why would I say cross-examination? I'm balls deep in another Phoenix Wright game with a friend, so maybe that's why. As you wish, my lord. First, let's begin by recounting the events leading up to the murder. Is that acceptable, Sir Apprentice Baker? As you wish. The murder occurred this very evening. Yesterday, there was heavy rainfall in the area. Eventually, it gave way to sunshine, which came just in time for today's parade. Although a few hours after the parade ended, the rain set in once more. That must have been when Spell and the others were at the Great Archive. It continued to rain until just before the incident, which took place on a small path leading to the market. The accused had been out doing some shopping at the market. She returned home on that very same path. On that forest path, two rogues named Robs and Muggs are said to have accosted the accused. One could assume the accused simply acted in self-defense. I see. Robs and Muggs. Those two have appeared in court a number of times in the past. Two rogues, huh? So far, it may appear that the accused was more the victim. However, the situation soon changed. That's right. The accused, Spella Cantabella, knowingly and mercilessly murdered her two assailants.
Cantabella? That girl, isn't she?
I always knew she looked suspicious. Oh, is that Charlie?
Shh, not so loud.
Yikes. Here's that weird excitement again. I believe we now fully grasp what happened. It is getting late already. Let us begin the trial. I can't believe I unlocked a third judge voice. After my stereotypical judge voice and whatever Scooby-Doo bullshit I did for Jigoku. Inquisitor Barnum, you may now begin. As you wish, my lord. The Inquisition will now hear eyewitness testimony regarding the night of the murder. Eyewitness testimony, huh? Looks like this trial is finally getting underway. Can't back down now. I have to fight. Yeah. It's very, not sure if barbaric is the right word, but it's the word I'm gonna use. But I'm just a simple bread-making baker, living a simple bread-making life. Getting that bread 24/7. We get it, Nick. This situation is more twisted than a pretzel. I'm smack in the middle of it. But I have to do this to save Espella. Okay, let's see if I can untwist this testimony and put this thing to bed. Maybe unhinged was the word I was looking for. Yo. Allow me to welcome you all. Now, would each of you please state your name and occupation? Great Ace Attorney moment right here. Although I guess maybe the Great Ace Attorney moments were Layton versus Wright moments.
Hold it!
Wait a minute! What's going on here? As I already explained, Sir Apprentice Baker, this is the eyewitness testimony. Yes, I understand that, but there are 4 witnesses. Indeed, this many people inside the courtroom could pose a health and safety issue. 6 feet apart, people. Your Honor, that's, not quite what I meant. This is before that time. Witness testimonies are supposed to be done one by one, as in one witness at a time.
What are you talking about, child? We'd be here all night if we did that.
That's right, young man. We have witnessed the very hand of fate reach out to us this evening.
Could we hurry this along, perhaps? These flowers won't sell themselves as much as my boss wishes they would.
The path to knighthood is an arduous one, but I remain steadfast in my resolve as I travel down this long road. I shall not falter! I will be victorious! Who cares? Just question them all at once.
We already know the girl in the cage did it. Let's get on with it. Yeah, finish this already. I'd like to go back and get to bed.
Witnesses, again, state your names and occupations. I am known as Wordsmith, but what is a name? How doth one describe an occupation? Like the bubbling of a babbling brook, I flow gracefully around the rocks and debris of this life, nary a worry in my mind. Right, so I guess that means he's jobless.
My name is Mary, and this darling kid is Snowy.
Yo, I don't have to voice the sheep, poggers.
Snowy and I often travel to the edge of town to sell delicious fresh milk. Milk like that doesn't happen overnight. I work my hands to the bone, squeezing each drop out. Literally.
That sounds pretty frightening.
I'm Kira. I'm a flower seller. If you would all be so kind, feel free to purchase one of my beautiful flowers at any time during the trial. There's no way I'll sell them all by morning. Oh, the life of a flower girl is so hard.
Yeesh, talk about a hard sell. My name is Nightle. I aim to join our town's order of knights. I study night and day, though I am still but a mere squire. Joining the Knights of the Inquisition is my life's ambition. Bars. And I, Nightle, will do whatever necessary to join. I need to shut up. So he's jobless too. Basically. Honorable witnesses, I ask that you show this court your best on delivering your testimonies. Now, tell us exactly what you all saw on this ill-fated eve. A delicious scent of a mid-evening dinner permeated the air, and a soft light shone faintly in the distance.
Muggs grabbed the girl by the arm. It looked like he almost pushed it to the ground. I heard a faint voice cry out. The next moment, those two villainous men burst into flames.
There was not a trace of fire to be seen in the area. Without a doubt, magic must have been used. Magic. Sir Apprentice Baker, you may now begin your interrogation. I have but one piece of advice. I suggest you pay it heed. Do not waste the court's time by grilling these witnesses over irrelevant nonsense, Sir Apprentice Baker.
Are you alright, Nick? They sure love calling you an Apprentice Baker, huh?
I'll be honest with you, Maya, I have no idea how I'm feeling right now, but I know it's all up to me. As her defender, Aspella's fate is in my hands. I have to believe in her, and I need to start believing in myself. I can do this. I believe Aspella is innocent, and I'll fight until the end to prove it.
Yeah, that's the spirit. We can do this thing, Nick.
Let's go. This delicious scent, soft light. Light?
Hold it!
What time would that be exactly? Dinner time. When else would the scent of dinner be in the air if not dinner time? Do you see? I wonder what's for dinner. Not so much. The sun had already set by that time. That should be adequate. No, the sun had already set? Maybe a little more specific? How much later? So you clearly witnessed what happened tonight. Is that correct? I have been dubbed a witness, thus I must have clearly witnessed something. Do you see? In that case, how much light was in there in the immediate area at that time? Enough to see the nose on my face, but not enough to see the trees ahead. Don't you see? No, that doesn't add up. If the area was completely dark, then you couldn't have possibly witnessed anything. Do you see? Nevertheless, something caught my eye. It was the most ominous sight. Ominous is what that sight was. Okay, I get it. It was ominous.
Objection!
Poor form, Sir Apprentice Baker. I hate to disappoint you, but there was, in fact, light in the area. Huh? Take a look at this. This is a drawing of the crime scene, based on the witness's account, as penned by the court illustrator. The court illustrator? Never heard of that before. Look carefully. This shows what the scene looked like at the time of the murder. An illustration of the highest quality, as always. Now then, we have established at the time that by the time the murder occurred, the sun had already set. And so naturally, the defendant was carrying a fire-lit lantern, as we can see. A lantern? Eureka! Indeed, yes, that was what I was saying earlier. There was a lantern! A lantern, I say! Oh, please, you totally forgot. To be honest, I did not imagine it would be necessary to present this, but... My lord, here is the lantern in question. This is what was responsible for the light illuminating the area. The guy on the left has some kind of Mob Psycho hair. I was gonna say they have Mob Psycho energy, but I wasn't 100% sure I was on the money with that. I'm glad to know I was. Very well. The court accepts this into evidence. The lantern Aspella was holding. The glass is broken and it's covered in mud. Looks like moss. Speaking of which, Inquisitor Barnum, in this drawing, the accused seems to be holding a bucket of white liquid. What became of this? That is a strange case indeed, my lord. The bucket seemingly disappeared from the murder scene. can't fucking hear the word bucket the same anymore. The milk bucket disappeared, you say? There has been talk of wolves living in the nearby forest. It's thought they often make off with the items they find on the ground. Great. Wolves that steal your stuff. Remind me to never set foot in that forest. This is great, Nick. We got some new evidence now. Ah, yeah, I guess you're right. You know, Nick, you don't really look like just some normal run-of-the-mill baker. I'd say you're more like a somewhat articulate run-of-the-mill baker. I think you might even have a knack for being a defender. There's a clear contradiction somewhere in that testimony, and I'm gonna find it. Grab the girl, looks like he almost pushed her to the ground. Her faint voice, they burst into flames. There's not a trace of fire to be seen in the area. Okay, but...
Objection!
The point. But also his dead fucking face, Jesus. You can tell this was before they nailed the 3D stuff. The 3D model stuff. What is the matter, Defender? What is this feeling? I just felt the urge to shout right from the bottom of my lungs while pointing my finger. Objection. I can't help but feel that's a word I've used quite a bit in the past. That's it. I remember now. I remember everything. Legal League of Attorneys exchange, Espel's trial, and then that strange book. This feeling, I feel like I could take on the world. Witness. What's with the sudden pointing? I am a soon-to-be member of the Honorable Knights of the Inquisition. I accept your challenge. How about you? I think I already lost the voice for Nidal, unfortunately. You say that no fire was present at the scene of the crime, meaning the defendant must have used magic? Well, yeah, the pointing is an iconic visual. Unfortunately for you, that is not the case. What do you mean? What do you mean, Sir Apprentice Baker? What I mean is that the defendant was, in fact, carrying a lantern. A lantern containing fire. Those two rogues were actually burned by the flame that was inside that lantern. That is the only logical explanation. I don't know, Phoenix. Doesn't look like you're convincing them. My, what a startling conclusion you've come to, Sir Apprentice Baker. What do you mean? The only logical explanation? Do you agree with this statement, honorable witnesses? It is presumptuous for a man that knows nothing to claim that he knows something about which he really knows nothing. Huh?
Besides, how could one teeny tiny flame be strong enough to set them both ablaze like that? There were two of them. How could that flame engulf them so fast?
Furthermore, if they did burn as you claim they did, do you mean to suggest that they were soaked in oil or something? Like some sort of first step to a greater ambition? Oh. Were they waiting for it to rain, Mr. Wright? Well, Sir Blue Knight, it would seem that you have bitten off more than you can chew. Duh! I definitely didn't see that coming. What say you, my lord? Do you have any thoughts on the proceedings thus far? Given the testimony as we have heard it, this court has come to its conclusion. 'Twas a gruesome and merciless act. An act for which only one thing could be held responsible. The nefarious crime of magic.
Hold it!
Wait just a second! Is there something you have forgotten to mention, Defender? Not exactly, Your Honor. It's just that, I mean, you just said magic. That can't be right, can it? What are you suggesting, Sir Apprentice Baker? Witches use magic, which in turn brings about disaster. Such is the way of the world, is it not? Well, yeah, that may seem to be the case. But no way is that actually possible. This court finds Spella Cantabella, the accused, charged with being a witch. Spella, a witch? A witch's existence in this world is a crime in and of itself. The ability to use and control magic is a criminal offense indeed. As such, any witch found practicing magic will be sentenced to death by fire.
No, you're wrong. I'm not a witch.
Sir Apprentice Baker, I do not envy your current predicament. My lord, hand down your guilty verdict against this witch immediately.
Objection!
But there's no evidence to prove that any magic was really used. Put a sock in it, bread boy. We all heard her cast a spell. Huh?
That's right, Snowy and I heard it. Isn't that right, Precious? We heard that incantation quite clearly. That frightening voice. There's no mistaking it. It was a speller's.
These ears do not lie. I clearly heard an incantation most sinister. Ignite as it went. Incantation? Ignites from Fire Emblem 3 Houses? It's no good! I just can't wrap my head around this topsy-turvy otherworldly court. Well then, it seems the defense has no further objections. It appears so. This court finds the use of magic at the time of the murder to be an undeniable fact. Furthermore, the honorable witnesses have stated that they each heard an incantation being recited. The court finds no reason to delay its verdict any longer.
Nick, we have to do something.
I know, but
What exactly can we say?
here in this world, our sense of logic is completely useless.
This court is ready to hand down its verdict for the case of Spella Cantabella.
Hold it.
Yo! There he is.
Your Honor, I request that the court hold its verdict a moment longer.
What is the meaning of this intrusion?
I have something I believe will be of use to the defense. A weapon of sorts.
Let's go.
That's the Grand Grimoire. All of this world's magic is contained within its pages. Without it, this trial cannot reach a satisfactory conclusion.
The Grand Grimoire.
Yeah! We meet again, Mr. Wright. Well, now it seems things are already afoot here, although the real contest begins now. Are you fully prepared? Yes, violinist going the fuck off. So true. So, are you here to help us?
Of course! The professor always helps people in trouble. It is the duty of every gentleman, right, Professor?
Professor? There is a saying I find quite useful in situations such as this. There is a time for words and a time for action. Right. You have been working as a baker in this town up until now, have you not? I must say I am a little mystified. I'd have expected you to be more familiar with this world and its system of magic. Ah, yeah. How can I put this? Guess that's not quite the full story. Is that so? I kinda had an epiphany just now. I remembered all sorts of things, like how I'm not actually a baker. And well, how magic can't really exist. And it would seem I was correct about you, Mr. Wright. You are not, in fact, a citizen of this town. Is that correct? Right, at least it seems that way. However, for now, we have no option but to accept this world and its rules as a reality. Without first understanding those rules, I'm afraid you will not be able to save Miss Cantabella. But things like magic only exist in fairy tales and make-believe. I'm afraid, Mr. Wright, it would seem magic does in fact exist in this world, so the truth cannot be denied. Indeed, that is why the Grand Grimoire is a weapon well suited for this witch trial. At the moment, you are tantamount to a knight without a sword. Oh damn, right over there is a knight with a sword. I didn't even notice that before. I feel more like an attorney without a chance, actually.
Right then, Mr. Wright, I'll explain how the Grand Grimoire works. Have a look at the touchscreen.
The what?
There you'll see the Grand Grimoire button.
The what?
Touching the Grand Grimoire button will open up the Grand Grimoire.
You will be able to present spells from the Grand Grimoire in much the same way you would present evidence. This book will surely be a most important asset for us in this trial.
Oh, that reminds me. I've gone ahead and bookmarked the spell Ignize for you.
Summons a circle of flame within 1 meter radius of the caster, requires an incantation and a scepter to cast. Also, I'm sorry if my voice is a little gravelly. I spent a lot of time today doing, like, voicing stuff in my downtime, so, like... maybe today was the wrong day to come back to this, but it was good practice.
Ignize? That's the magic spell all of the witnesses said they heard, right? Nick, you should take a look at that spell.
All I have to do is touch the Grand Grimoire button, huh? Boop. So true. The defender has been given more than enough time. It would seem this trial has reached an end. Is that understood, Sir Apprentice Baker? This case is quite straightforward, with very little room for doubt. The witness' testimony, coupled with the illustration of the time of the murder, makes it quite clear what must have occurred. This murder was the result of magic. And furthermore, the caster of said magic was none other than the accused. That, Sir Apprentice Baker, is the truth. Best you go back to baking, for I believe your days in the courtroom have crumbled. Duh! Is everything okay, Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, I was just having a gulp of my tea. Yeah! It would seem that photographs do not exist in this world. Photos don't exist? I guess that makes sense. Ye old time period and all. The sketch drawn by the court illustrator. Therein lies your final chance, Mr. Wright. My final chance? I understand the witnesses have already finished their testimony. However, if you could perhaps find a clear contradiction within this illustration. There's another contradiction? In that case, there's still hope that I can turn this around.
Mr. Wright, you have to hurry. Look, the judge. He's ready to shove that gavel. Somewhere. I don't know where. He's ready to deliver his verdict any second now.
This is it. This is my last chance. What should I do? Point out the contradiction. Hold it! Actually, no, I need a hint coin for that. 1 second, Your Honor. I need a hint coin to figure out what I need to do here. The defense requests permission to have another look at the court illustration. I think there might be a contradiction in there.
Objection!
You are already out of time. All testimony and evidence given thus far has proven to be accurate.
Objection!
I wouldn't be so sure, Inquisitor Barnum. There's just one thing you've overlooked. A piece of evidence within this book. The Grand Grimoire. Absurd. I overlooked something. You are the defender here. You should have examined the tome earlier. You're right, I should have. But unfortunately, I was nothing but a simple baker until just now. Interesting. You've certainly begun to show your true colors, Sir Blue Knight. Let us see what type of knight you truly are. Have at you! The defender will now show us this supposed contradiction. The court illustration and the Grand Grimoire. Somewhere there's a contradiction between those two, and I've got to find it. This is my last chance. Defender, use this magnifying glass to locate the point of relevance. Reveal to the court the location of this contradiction. It's the hand, right? Because she's not holding a scepter.
Got it!
Contradiction is here. The hand of the accused. She appears to be holding a milk bucket. Yes, but that milk bucket was said to have vanished from the crime scene. It's quite possible there's an important reason behind its disappearance. Inquisitor Barnum, what are your thoughts on this? It is quite mysterious indeed, my lord. However, the Inquisition believes it bears no relation to the case. Forest Wolf simply came and stole the bucket. Nothing more. Let us not dwell on the milk bucket for the time being, Mr. Wright. Rather, we should first consider any information within the Grand Grimoire that might lead us to a contradiction. Our new piece of evidence. Maybe I should have another look at it. I have to touch the... Yeah, I know. It said it needed a scepter. So I was like, both of her hands are occupied. She couldn't fucking hold a scepter. Give me one more chance, please. Granted, but be warned, you're running out of chances, Defender.
Got it!
It was the other hand, my bad. The contradiction is right here. The hand of the accused. Yes, I said this before and you said nothing. She seems to be holding a lantern. What is your point? According to this tome, using the spell Ignize requires the use of the witch's scepter, as well as an incantation. Isn't that right? Correct. For witches to use magic, they must be in possession of a witch's scepter, also known as a Telea Magica. If that's the case, then there's one thing that doesn't add up. Take another look at Miss Cantabella's hands. Tell me, do you see the witch's scepter in either of them? Die. There we go. See a point that sword at me now.
You did it, Mr. Roy! But, wasn't that contradiction just a little too obvious?
You may be right.
Eh?
Certainly appear. The good Inquisitor has taken his particular oversight rather too. That is correct, Sir Apprentice Baker, but you should not underestimate me. This is perhaps your first time seeing this item, is it not? Right here is the very scepter you mentioned. Can we get it better in frame so I can decide if it's cool or cringe? One of the witnesses found it tossed in the shrubbery on the side of the path. Aha, yes, indeed, that was I. I located it. My feet found themselves ensnared in the blasted thing, and it sent me flying through the air. Somehow, I'm not surprised to hear you fell, Graves. Okay, yeah, it's pretty sick. The scepter does seem to carry a most sinister air. Indeed, my lord. However, the scepter will only work while in the hands of a witch, while the incantation is being said aloud.
Oh, that's too bad. I want to try lighting some stuff on fire.
Please don't look at me when you say that. You see, there are two magic gems set in the scepter. Magic gems? Looks like a red gem and a white gem. These gems each contain a particular magic spell. By simply looking at these magic gems, one can easily determine which magic spell can be used.
Nick, quick, look at this page. It's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I know, I've seen it already. Is that the red magic gem? Indeed. This red gem you see here is the spell Ignize. If you look at it carefully, you should notice that the scepter has also one more spell that can be used. One more spell? That must be the white gem.
Mr. Roy, I found it. Here's the spell for the white magic gem.
Demir. Vanishing Spell. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. So you telling me... Wait, causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. I see you managed to work it out in that crusty head of yours, boomer. Hey, you don't call me a... That's just... That... It can't be! The reason the witch's scepter couldn't be seen is because the magic spell Demir made it disappear. Also, wait a second! How can you call me a boomer? That era hasn't even happened yet! In your time... Well, you really wound up that table slam, huh? That's right. In other words... The accused conjured a cowardly spell to camouflage her own use of magic. You like that alliteration, eh? Yes, it was very nice, but... No way! Order! 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 Inquisitor Barnum, please submit the scepter into evidence.
Objection!
Hold on, please! Is there a problem, Sir Baker? Okay, I understand this is a witch's scepter. However, whether or not the scepter was in Miss Cantabella's possession has not yet been proven. What are you talking about, Sir Apprentice Baker? Isn't it obvious? I'm talking about fingerprints. Supposing Miss Cantabella did in fact handle this witch's scepter, then her fingerprints should still be on it. Don't you ... me, Maya. The others I understand, but... What's with the silence? You said fingerprints? I don't think so. Inquisitor Barnum, tell me, just what is this Baker blabbering about? I haven't the slightest clue, my lord. It is the Baker's first time in court, after all. Huh? I'm afraid it's no use, Mr. Wright. In this world, it would seem the concept of fingerprinting does not yet exist. What? I can't believe it! As I've said already, best you head back to the bakery, lest you continue to serve this court more of your half-baked ideas. Okay, I'll give him that one. That was kind of smooth. You're about as half-baked as your terrible puns, Barnum. Never mind, I hate it. Forensic science does not exist here. Instead, this is a world in which witches and magic are accepted as fact. Truly fascinating. What the heck? There are just way too many things I don't know about this world. Mr. Wright, I believe you may be able to take these things and use them to your advantage. Huh? The Inquisition believes there is no room for debate on the matter. The accused clearly attempted to conceal her magic. Better luck next time, fuckboy, Sir Apprentice Baker. Mayhap your next loaf will not leave such a bitter taste in our mouths. Hey, Ollie. Now then, my lord, I believe it is time. I ask that you render your unwavering verdict.
Objection.
Yeah! Pardon the interruption. May I have a word, Inquisitor Barnum? What's that? Who might you be? I have been standing here for the past 10 minutes, good sir. My name is Herschel Layton. I am a friend of the accused. Inquisitor Barnum, please allow me to confirm what you believe happened on the night of the crime. You claim the witch's scepter was made to disappear through the use of magic. Is that correct? Indeed, through the magic spell Demir. If possible, would you mind providing proof of this particular claim? What? You claim the scepter was not seen. Indeed, that is one possibility. However, a wise man must always consider every possibility. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Can the Inquisition fulfill the request presented by the gentleman with the unusual hat? The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. if you are certain the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender. Come on! It's the Inquisition's job to prove that a crime was committed. As I thought, indeed it would appear the accepted method of thinking in this world greatly differs from our own. How regrettable, Sir Prentice Baker. And you, Sir Darkhat. Inquisitor Barnum, sir, should you require it, I stand ready to lend my testimony.
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies. Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious?
A witch's scepter, you say? Yes, I know of such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter. What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Very well. Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. You know, you could just leave the sword out. You don't have... It would save you the trouble of drawing it each and every time. Tell the court all you know regarding this telemagical, and don't tell me how to use my sword. Well, we've somehow managed to keep the trial going. I owe you one, Sir Darkhat. Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. Thank you, Ollie. It's 95% me, except when they decide to use some of their voice acting budget. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other.
That girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way. I got a good look at her hand and it looked for certain that she was dripping something.
The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter. We saw it too. Here's a girl up there, without a doubt. It's turning into Charlie's grandma again.
I as well. These old eyes don't see as well as they once did, but I witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly. Don't tell the court you're blind! My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade, which you can't see the edge of because it's out of frame. How convenient. A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implication of that analogy on his vision. Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation. Mr. Layton's given me another chance. I can't let it go to waste. The witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand, a lantern in the other. Yeah, that tracks. Throwing a lantern hanging from her wrist, her hand was contorted in a strange way. I mean, that tracks too, but maybe her hand was aching and she was just flexing her fingers. I don't know. She had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure? That sword is as fake as your $30 haircut. Also, this week I learned that the original $30 haircut line is from a legit, like, Dragon Ball Z dub. Not even like an abridged dub, like a real dub. And that was, like, fucking insane to find out.
Of course we're sure. If that wasn't it, then how else would the girl have managed to hold her invisible scepter?
It is. Yeah. Ma'am, please, just testify about what you actually saw. Well, actually, YouTube could have lied to me. But I saw, like, a clip that was, like, $30 haircut original clip, and it was, like, a Dragon Ball clip, and the comments were saying it was the real dub, and it seemed legit enough, so... Yeah. I can't fact check right now, though.
We just said that's what we saw. Isn't that right, Snowy?
Indeed, a handle as wide as this could be easily hung from the accused's small wrist.
Yes, that's what we were telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy's little snowball?
It's no good. They're all bent on assuming a speller was holding that scepter. It seems it may be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further. Well, that's just super. A good look at her hand. Looks for certain she is gripping something. Fair. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended. Can I, like, look at the illustration again? Because, like, this is giving me something. But I need to look at that illustration again, I think. Actually, wait. Scepter in her right hand. Good look at her hand. Did it say what hand? Or her wrist. Doesn't say the hand. Large milk bucket in one hand. Okay, well, wait, no. She did have the milk bucket in her left hand, though. So if she had the lantern and the scepter there together, then how would she have dropped the lantern is the thing, huh? I guess I could go with that. But would I present the scepter or the lantern? I'm gonna go with the lantern.
Objection!
Whew! There's a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, don't Shapiro me, right? She had been holding it, she would undoubtedly have dropped it at the time of the incident. What do you mean? What I mean, Inquisitor Barnum, is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
Objection!
What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Apprentice Baker? That lantern's handle was around the accused's wrist.
Objection!
Thank you, Rubbish. Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass, and the mud plastered all over it. What? The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place. That would make the path fairly muddy. Don't you agree? When the thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud. True. The lantern. I fell into the mud. Yeah, I just have a different voice for him every goddamn line.
Why, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy wowie?
Well, what are you saying, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at the time, that would mean when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it. What's going on? Inquisitor Barnum seems speechless. That defender's managed to turn the thing around, even though he's just some baker.
Oh, no, why? Hey, the witch's accomplices now hate. They're just trying to trick ya!
What is this?
Hold it!
One moment, please. Everyone, please listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern. So what? What's so special about it? Explain it to me so I can understand.
So you can understand? I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it. Mr. Wright. What is it, Mr. Layton? There's something about this witness. It seems rather sus. Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira. How good is your eyesight exactly?
Huh?
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Ah, yes, indeed. What does it mean, exactly? It means that Miss Kira's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best.
Ah!
Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true, I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses?
Aha, now that you mention it, I did notice something odd about you today.
I thought you looked familiar. Gone is the mist that clouded my mind. In its place, clarity. Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles are as valuable as a shield tonight. Make haste to procure another pair. Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
No, I was not wearing them. Truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
You lost them? So, her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. Mr. Wright, might I recommend you keep note of this fact? It could prove useful later. Got it! Am I to believe there is nothing left to prove on this matter? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Hold it! Wait just a moment. Snowy and I have much more left to say. That's right. My trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies. I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify.
Eureka, I remember now. Old age is a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you must understand. Yeah, I understand. I understand you're all completely full of shit. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter, and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you will all witness tonight. Alrighty, tidy, let's do it. This girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Who's to say she wasn't also holding the scepter in that hand? That milk bucket is lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could have easily held the scepter as well.
I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. The scepter was in her other hand, you say? I think you might need to limit this bit until you forget what voice he had. Sir Baker. Yes, Your Honor. It's the strangest thing. The longer this trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender. Huh? Well, no matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Alright, must have been her other hand. Holding a milk bucket, who's to say she wasn't also holding the scepter in that hand? Because her hand was like firmly gripped. No, wait, no, that was the one on her wrist, wasn't it? No, she had the lantern like gripped, and the milk bucket was on her wrist. I think. I don't have the court illustration, so I would not know. Thanks, fellas. Appreciated. Milk bucket's lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could have easily held the scepter. Hold it! Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
Well, what is it now? Snowy and I don't have all night, you know. Come on then, out with it.
I just have one question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the bucket Miss Cantabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry?
well... You see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
You've seen it countless times before. That doesn't answer my question. You specifically said that bucket is lighter than it looks. Miss Mary, at some point tonight, you must have held that bucket yourself. Now then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
It's true. By that time, Robs and mugs had already been burnt to ash. And then, I noticed the milk in that bucket that the girl had been holding in her hand.
Milk?
Then, when those two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket. As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
Huh? Unbelievable. Witness, you.
Well, it was just so wasteful. I thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. I felt I just had to protect it, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me.
Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took the evidence from a crime scene back home with you? That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the crime scene.
Oh my, you're scaring poor Snowy. Here, I brought the milk bucket with me anyway. See, I didn't even tamper with the milk.
I'm sure you didn't. The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence. Looks like that's one more piece of evidence for us. Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony? I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion. That's it for the testimony. Still, something's bound to be here. I can't believe Mary took the bucket home with her.
Miss Mary must be one of those thieving forest wolves we've heard about.
Let's hope she doesn't eat like a wolf as well, Luke, for her Snowy's sake. I've got this new piece of evidence, but the question is, how can I use it?
I know, looking at this milk bucket now, it does look sort of different from the sketch, don't you think?
It might be a good idea to get a nice good look at the actual milk bucket. Must have been her other hand. But what if it, like...
Objection!
You know. All of your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern. Therefore, it must have been in their other hand that was holding the bucket. However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. What do you mean? Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was in fact at the crime scene. And you'll also notice something about this bucket. Take another look at the court illustration. Something about the bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
This illustration was based on eyewitness accounts, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection!
Actually, Inquisitor Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there is a blatant contradiction present in this illustration. Admittedly, it does at first look possible that Miss Cantabella is holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. Does it though? However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibility goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. notice the handle.
That cannot be.
Oh, but it is. This particular milk bucket has 2 pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were to try and hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's just say that'd be a challenge. To put it simply, there's no way anyone could hold both the bucket and the scepter at once. What? That must mean clearly you have the wrong bucket.
We never lie when it comes to milk. That is the very bucket I took.
It looks like these witnesses are as surprised about this as Barnum. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket and the scepter at once. Also, they've already established she was not holding a scepter in her right hand. Therefore, the defendant, Mrs. Spella Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident. Order! Order! I said order! Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as a judge of this court, I never heard such an argument. These are but a paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. My bad. I'm sorry, I'm just so used to dragging these defenders through the mud. But these are quite remarkable words. Your Honor, what you just heard was logic. Logic, you say?
What is with these two?
They just silenced Inquisitor Barnum with
Mere words. Such foolishness. This must be some type of witchcraft. They're going to get him cancelled on ye old Twitter.
Wait,
Do you think? Could they be witches?
it would seem the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
Right. Let's take this chance to knock their case down a peg or two.
I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining a spell in a one-way trip to the flames.
Objection!
Literally, you look like you're going to throw a javelin every time you do that animation, buddy. Most intriguing. A knight allows his sword to speak for him during battle. You have spoken with a sword of words. So be it. I, too, shall wield such a blade. What do you mean? Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours. A hole? Oh, fuck, I just had this outfit re-sewn. According to the earlier testimony, it was believed the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist by the hand. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud. That's right. While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean the accused was therefore unable to use magic. It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter. What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum? It is very simple. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then, she dropped both the lantern and the scepter. The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Yeah, of course, yes, that must be it! What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the knightly knowledge of the Inquisition. Like, wow, Sir Barnum cut through that baker's witchery like a hot knife through butter. Exemplary. I expected nothing less from the hand of Barnum. Oh, to be able to shake that powerful hand someday. That Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared. Yeah, sure seems that way. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he never even heard of logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us. This guy is no joke, that's for sure. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask that you lend us your aid once more. I request that you all testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell. Witnesses, you may begin your testimonies. Tell this court in your own words about the sequence of events which transpired tonight. lantern fell to the ground after the incantation of Ignize. Sploosh!
I'm as sure as Snowy is right. I made certain to keep my eyes peeled on that milk bucket after all. Besides, how can you be so sure that the lantern fell just because it has a little mud on it?
These eyes do not lie. I saw the lantern in the accused hand when the incantation was uttered. Figures. Your testimonies are all over the place now. These 4 testimonies are most interesting. The witnesses all saw the same thing, and yet people's memories are evidently quite fickle. They can never be a truly reliable source.
Well then, Professor, with enough poking and prodding, I bet we can really cause their testimonies to crumble.
Of course, we need to exploit their fickle memories to turn this thing around.
We've got this, Nick. We'll press them so hard they won't even remember what they had for breakfast.
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. I am going to be right back, actually. I need to refill my water. That's the wrong scene. Okay. I really need one of those, like, metal water bottles instead of just this plastic bullshit. That way I, just have a one and done thing instead of having to run out and, like, fucking get a new water bottle. Anyway, we're back. Now, Sir Baker, you may begin your interrogation. Alrighty. Let's go. Of course, the lantern fell to the ground with the incantation of Ignize. Hey, Hannah.
Hold it!
My fucking back is hurting today, too. The lantern fell after the incantation. Are you positive about that? I say I am positively positive that I am positive. I heard her voice and then... Sploosh. That's sploosh. Was that the sound of the lantern hitting the ground? Indeed. But of course, don't you see? But if you look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. You specify you heard a sploosh. Shouldn't you have heard the sound of the glass shattering when it hit the ground? The sound of glass shattering? No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift. Wonder what that's about. I was present in an area a bit farther away from the crime scene. I have no recollection of hearing such a sound. Why can't I scroll over to her? Why can't I scroll over to her? We need to have the tutorial, don't we? No recollection. Precisely so. I'll have you know I can easily hear a dog barking across town. Do not underestimate my hearing. I wasn't. Relax, Grandpa. There is nothing of interest in this testimony. Will the witness with the goat please proceed with her testimony?
Oh, you mean us. You startled us, didn't you, Snowy?
Fuck, cold water is good. Nothing better than cold water. Anyway, I remember this part. It's a tutorial, so I need to scroll back around.
What do you think, Nick? Did you notice anything fishy?
Yeah, possibly. I think there may be something I can use.
Really? Wow! I didn't hear anything special.
There's definitely something out of place about that one witness's testimony. It was something I haven't noticed from any of the other witnesses so far. It appears you may have found something, Mr. Wright. A four-witness cross-examination. This is something I've never done before. But then, maybe there's another way I should be tackling this. I believe it is worth trusting that intuition, Mr. Wright. Okay, I got it. All right, let's try pressing that old man one more time. He looks like a fucking bowling pin.
Hold it!
Archer fellow, you positive? The sploosh, yes, you should have heard the glass shattering though, my dude. Yeah. You specify you heard a sploosh. The sound of glass shattering. No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift.
Hold it!
There it is. Right there. I knew I heard something strange.
Huh? But old Graybeard didn't say anything weird.
Maya, it's not the old guy that said something weird. It's the person next to him.
Next to him? Ah, look there, Professor. The goat lady. She really looks deep in thought.
Ah, yes, the goat milker. It would seem she has noticed something odd in this elderly gentleman's testimony.
That's right. These cross-examinations have 4 witnesses. Hey, Nick, looks like we're not the only ones paying attention to these testimonies.
You're right, which means if they're all listening to each other's testimonies. Correct, Mr. Wright. Each witness is fully aware of themselves and their own actions while in the middle of their testimonies. However, it is while listening to the testimonials of others that the witnesses may sometimes reveal the most valuable information. I see. It's habitual. They can't tell they're doing it, but I can. And I'm going to use it to turn the tide back in our favor. In fact, I do believe I may have spotted our first opening in which to test this new technique. Oh, really? So did I. Mr. Wright, can I draw your attention to the touchscreen?
What is the touchscreen?
You people keep talking about it. What are you talking about? Shh, 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 shh. They'll understand.
Who are they?
It's best not to think about it, Mr. Wright. The touchscreen? Sliding the magnifying glass during a witness's testimony will allow you to shift your focus to another witness. Right. So the important thing here isn't the witnesses that are in mid-testimony. It's the other 3 witnesses listening.
Yeah, that sure is mid-testimony, Nick.
Maya, shut up. It's just a matter of catching them off guard and questioning them.
What are you waiting for? Let's give it a shot. How about we try questioning the goat lady next to old Graybeard?
Okay, all I have to do is slide the magnifying glass over. Keep fucking hammering it home. Sound of glass shattering? No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift. This is a mid-tutorial is what it is. Hey-o! So true.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary.
Oh, do you mean us? But Snowy and I have nothing else left to say.
I knew it. I caught it completely by surprise. Mr. Wordsmith just gave his testimony. He told us all about the sound he heard when the lantern fell to the ground. Mr. Wordsmith didn't seem too sure. I wonder if you might happen to have something to say about this.
Well, that's, Is that all right, Sir Barnum? May we answer the question?
Do what you will, madam. There is no need for formalities. Huh?
Well, we'll try and explain, won't we, Snowy? The truth is, we did hear something. As to say, we heard the sound of the lantern's glass shattering. We're sure of it! It was frighteningly loud. It quite startled us, didn't it, Snowy dear? I looked in the direction of the sound, but I couldn't see anything, let alone a girl or these two thieves. It was a tad dark after all.
When the glass shattered, the flame inside must have gone out. Hence, she could not see them. That seems to be the gist of it.
Then, as I peered into the darkness, I heard it.
You heard it? What did you hear exactly?
You know, that I heard. The incantation for the spell ignites.
You hear this shit, Inquisitor? I hear it, Professor. What did you just say? Now hold it right there, witness!
Yes, my lord.
The glass shattered when the lantern fell. Then, after that, you heard the incantation for the spell ignites. Do you swear to this court that this is without a doubt correct?
Yes, maybe. I think.
How about my testimony? What of my oratorical observation? Who's this himbo? You mean the prosecutor? That's Sir Barnum. He's you know?
I heard no such thing. There's no sound of shattering glass.
Absurd! Simply absurd. So the lantern fell and the glass shattered. That does not change the very fact that this girl is a witch.
Objection!
I hate to disappoint you, but that's not quite the case. In fact, this testimony changes things a lot. Wouldn't you agree, Inquisitor Barnum? What is the meaning of this? Let's go over what we know so far. In order for a witch to use any magic, they must be holding a witch's scepter. And yet, none of the four witnesses saw the defendant holding a scepter of any kind. That's because the scepter was made to disappear with the spell de Mir, correct? At the time of the crime, the two victims grabbed Miss Cantabella's arm, causing her to drop the lantern onto the ground. If, at the time, she was holding an invisible scepter, then the scepter must have fallen when she dropped the lantern. Now, let's say, hypothetically, Phoenix, my dude, you gotta stop saying that Miss Cantabella is really a witch. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. However, as our witness, Miss Mary, has just stated in her testimony, she heard the incantation for Ignites after hearing the lantern's glass shatter. He also said, for the sake of argument earlier, Ben Shapiro's ruined it. He's ruined. Ben Shapiro ruined law rhetoric, among other things. You do all understand what that means, don't you? It means that Miss Cantabella, the supposed witch you've locked up, could not have possibly cast any magic. Therefore, defendant Expella Cantabella is clearly in no way, shape, or form a witch. Oh shit, the banger's going on now. Oh, and there he goes. Such frivolity! Do you realize what you're insinuating? Do you really think she's not a witch?
Such nonsense. Did you even listen to my testimony? We did, but you're wrong! There was no glass shattering.
I mean, looks fucking shattered to me.
Are you calling me a liar, Missy? You couldn't even see the mark on the lantern when it was plain as day.
What ridiculous claims, all of you!
Oh, hush! Take your little toy sword and go back to playing pretend, Sir Knight.
Shittered. Witnesses, this is a court of law, not a playground. Must I remind you of the importance of these proceedings? Witches and their magic threaten our fair town of Labyrinthia. Your words here today could decide the fate of every single citizen within our walls. Do you understand? As such, I expect each of you to take your role seriously and testify honestly about what you saw. Rubbish, please. Please. I mean... Same. But... you know. Ollie, what do you mean? In all my days as a judge of this court, I've never seen such behavior. Also, I'm just now realizing the judge is kind of dressed like the dusk cultist enemy. Behavior that leads a cloud of doubt over the credibility of each of your testimonies. I don't know, I just wanted to be included. Okay. Indeed, my lord. Quite a miserable set of witnesses this lot. I see. It would appear that this trial has come to a sudden halt. Heretic. Yeah, God. It does sure. He does sure fucking look like it. That's why we couldn't see their faces. They were all the judge. Huh? So, that must mean... Quite right. It means you have won this trial, Mr. Wright. We've won? I can hardly believe the situation we have found ourselves in. I did not anticipate this trial ending with such a strange turn of events. It's not ending yet, is it? But due to these witnesses' dubious credibility, I can see no reason to continue. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? As you wish, my lord. What's going on? They're actually going to let this witch run free through the town? Curses! If it wasn't for that witch and her friends.
Hold it!
Oh, who the fuck? Hello?
Wait a bloomin' second. This trial ain't even close to being over. Not before I take the stand to testify!
But who the fuck are you to say anything, buddy? Some guy might believe it.
Order! Order! Who is this buffoon?
Muppet!
Behold! Who am I, you ask? Who am I? Why? I'm the man that's gonna single-handedly save this trial. I'm the fifth witness!
Is that Statler or Waldorf? God, he was even up there like that too, God.
Say what?
No,
What?
Phoenix. The
Even
line
Barnum
is...
didn't see this one
Say
coming.
what? Just as I thought! This trial was going down the drain before I got here! Okay, you lot, assemble! We need a strategy meeting ASAP! I say, who are you?
Thank goodness you showed up. We can't give up now, everyone.
It has come down to this. To arms, everyone. We shall do battle against that baker in that hat cellar. I can't believe this. What the heck is going on? Truly fascinating. It seems a new witness has taken the stand. We're to talking in 5 minutes in Charlie's grandpa's voice point routine. Oh my god, wait, no! No, wait, that's a good idea though! Okay, but also I need to make a PNG tuber a PNG tuber state that looked like Charlie's grandma to compliment it. Not the worst idea though. Well, I guess it's still far from over. I hate you all, but thank you. Anyway, we're still going. We haven't even hit 2 hours yet. Save the world again. Good on her. Just name the redeemed Charlie's grandma. No elaboration. Maybe. Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Espella Cantabella. Oh boy. A group of witnesses huddling up before a joint testimony in a witch trial. Can't make this stuff up. I hope you know, it's going to be a very high point redeem, though. Of course, no point redeem is too high for y'all, considering y'all fucking stockpile that stuff. But, you know, just a fair warning. Inquisitor Barnum, if I may ask you a question. Yes, my lord. We now have 5 witnesses on the stand. So I must ask, why was this obnoxious-looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses? Baldy's right, Barnum. That's just cold-blooded. There is but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed. Eh? You, sir, failed to come forward when we were asking for witnesses for his very trial, and you were nowhere to be seen. That's because I didn't hear a peep about it. I'm usually around at night, except for maybe at Rouge's Tavern. Yo, Rouge the Bat. So you're telling us that you were up all night drinking? Anyway, it's all water under the bridge now, as far as I'm concerned. Just leave the rest of yours truly. I have to see that on the paper. His face is covered in foam. I hate y'all. During the last interrogation, the defendant brought forth some surprising proof. Namely, that there was little possibility the accused could have used magic. I've never heard such a claim. It must be the doing of this logic. What rubbish! Logic, you say? I ain't got a clue what that is. But I do know that this bread bacon baker when I head back to the bakery. Eloquently said. Oi! Gramps! Give me and my partners over here a chance to speak. Would you rather I just said come instead? You can barely hear that shit, God. You want to know this witch managed to be holding that scepter, don't you? Oh, when you say Gramps, you wouldn't mean me, would you? Welcome. I fail to see anyone else meeting such a description.
We'll show you, see she's a witch. I bet Snow's beautiful white coat on it.
On guard! Alright, team, let's do this! Witnesses. Yes, well, let us proceed with the testimony. I'm making a reminder for myself to at least entertain the idea later this week. Just so y'all know. That's why I'm a little slow right now. I'm fixing a reminder for myself. For the Charlie. Why do I feel like I've totally lost control of the situation? Yo, he just like me for real.
Spella is a witch. We are not backing down on this.
When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands.
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back.
The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter.
That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked the witch's magic stick.
So, she had the witch's scepter behind her back. She didn't drop the lantern and reach for her scepter after it fell. If that is the case, then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic. She said no, she's lying. To be fair, we just introduced the concept of logic to these people earlier, so it was probably like that before. This is bad. Thanks to this guy, all the witnesses seem actually determined to pin this thing on Spella. They each harbor a shared anger towards witches and magic. Such is the cause of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict pass as quickly as possible. However, such confidence is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think these guys mean any real harm. No, they definitely want this girl dead, but they're all riled up. They don't even realize how distorted their idea of what's happened tonight has become. At least that's how it seems.
This isn't good, Professor. The witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth.
Sir Baker, Sir Wright. Yes! You do not appear to be a mere simple baker. That much is clear. On the other hand, you are no ordinary defender either. One could say that you are a ace attorney of sorts. Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here on this battlefield as an equal. You holding it on your back. Stop, please. Sir Blue Knight, the trial has not yet been decided. If there is any doubt in your interrogation, I will not hesitate to strike your case down where it stands. I understand. Defender, please begin your interrogation. Cross-examination. It's clear as day she's a witch. Fuck you. When she dropped the lantern, her scepter was not yet in her hands. What did he mean by this?
Hold it!
No matter how many times we ask, you still say you didn't see the scepter, huh, Gramps? I ask you, youngling, were you paying attention to the trial? Yeah? Well, then magic made the scepter invisible, did it not? Thus, my old age clouding up my vision has nothing to do with anything. The scepter actually vanished. No, what I'm saying is if it really was invisible, you wouldn't have been able to actually prove it. Not so, young one. We can prove it. This girl's a witch. There is your proof. Okay. So, my old age clouding up my memories has nothing to do with anything. The scepter magically vanished, you see. Okay, we get it. When the lantern fell, you claimed the scepter was not in her hand yet, so that means the scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. Grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. I'm gonna take another drink. Picked up the magic stick. Okay, but the lantern has mud on it. Why wouldn't the bucket then?
Objection.
A buck injection. I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple. What? What you talking about? It only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground was very muddy. if Miss Cantabella really placed this bucket on the ground like you claim she did, it should have been caked with mud, just like the lantern was after it fell. Well, I'd say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you?
Well, hey, Barnum!
What?
You just gonna sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here.
Flattery will get you nowhere, witness. Other than perhaps to the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
Indeed. You admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add.
My, oh my. Such hard words, Inspector.
Inquisitor, what is he inspecting? When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket. Is that correct? I love when her eyes do the fucking me creator thing. Do you want me to answer that? No.
You know, now that you mention it.
No way. Don't tell me.
The milk bucket. That's right, I remember now. I don't know if it was on the bucket was mud, but it certainly was dirty.
What do you mean you don't know if it was mud? What else could it be?
Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag. Are you kidding me?
Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum.
Right. It all makes perfect sense. See, we were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum?
I knew that sword weren't just for show, Barnum. You sliced this argument right in two.
Objection!
Witness! Miss Mary.
What is it?
You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket?
Oh my, well, truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly.
Hi, Poke. We're on witch trial.
I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home.
It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that we can be certain.
Ha ha! That'll teach you, Bluey. You got that right. Do me a favor, will you, Gramps? I'll change my testimony just a tiny bit.
I will allow it. Only if the witness refrains from name calling in the future. Yeah, he hasn't given us his name yet, so he's just some guy.
You got it, Gran. My lord. Well, all this court mumbo jumbo's left me thirsty as a dog in a desert. I'll fucking drink to that.
Oh, damn, he's still going. How much could he fit in that tiny ass thing? Terrifying.
That witch there was holding the stick. I even heard her say the incantation thingy.
That's right.
I witnessed it all.
Hold it!
It's getting late, I will head out. Fair enough, have a good night. But no one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground. Because there's no mud on it. Is that what you're saying?
Hey, we went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket.
We really don't remember, but maybe, I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't have held the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground.
Miss Mary, please give a definitive answer.
You're done, Bluey. Talk all you want, cause it ain't gonna help. You see? Ow, me fucking hand. The five of us, we saw what that witch went and did.
So clear as day. Damn, this game doesn't fuck around with telling you. Like, if I did... I was talking over that, so I almost didn't hear him. Anyway, speed.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister? Earth the Gramps? Does he have legs? Excellent question. I don't think so. Defender, when you say Gramps, might you by any chance be referring to me? No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening? Oh my god, I dozed off again. I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all, the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now, your voice. I love how this voice is in such a low register that my fucking PNG tuber sometimes doesn't pick up that I'm talking. If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony? Indeed so. I felt something was amiss. However, that means I cannot say. Amiss? Witness, could you tell us what precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness? What a burn. God. 5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to a terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air. The shadows of those present cast through the dim light. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included. 4? Hold on one second. You're saying that there are only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight? These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw. Well, I'm not sure if Mary could have seen it, considering her eyes are fucking closed half the time. Is something the matter, Miss Mary?
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk.
I love how in this, like, graphic on the fucking bottom right, Mary's just going like, oh! She's like, oh!
And when those ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. That sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them, the other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure of it. There are only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, madam. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many. Don't be stupid! Boy, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. It seems we haven't... Yes, rubbish, I know. I was about to say, this game better choose its next words very fucking carefully. And also, somehow I don't have an Among Us noise on the soundboard at this present time. That'll have to do. Actually, no, the closest thing I have is... Technically, if we're talking game music. Why do I even have that? I don't even use it that often. All for one and all for one. You know, I fucked up that line, but I think it fits his character better if I keep it like that, you know? We all promised to take this witch down together, didn't we?
It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
Well, I say it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I say. I'll have you know, my counting is flawless on nights with sea balloons. I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise.
4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, what difference does it make? If Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What the? Saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool! Didn't I just finish saying that? My testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless.
Your shield's made of wood, my good man.
Order! Order! I said order! What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up? I've never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. There is but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility. What do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene, and yet currently we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright?
The answer, it can't be.
Well, out with the supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses? Why is it not one of them is the witch. While it might seem far-fetched, in reality, it's rather simple. The real witch and the real murderer in this case, choose your next words carefully, is actually one of these 5 witnesses. What? You're telling us that the group is, that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? What utter rubbish! There's no possible way such a claim could be true. That's right! You got a lot of nerve accusing one of us of being a witch. Amongst us is you.
We have told you nothing but the truth. But you still haven't gotten the better out of an outrageous accusation.
Some guy, my beloved, so true. Behold, behold is my trusty shield. Deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are. Also, welcome to the stream. Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord? I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here. I requested it from the court illustrator just in case. Very well. Witnesses! I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now! The number of witnesses it doesn't add up. It looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. Yeah, they have a court illustrator because photographs are not a thing in ye old times. It does sound like a fun job. I mean, well, actually, maybe not for me, but my art comes and goes like the weather. It's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman and these other 2 who are also here. I'm taking another drink of water. Layton, my beloved. The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. If one of the witnesses is the witch, let me just. Okay, yeah. About what's expected. Actually, wait, do they have the ages on the profiles in this game? No, they don't. Okay. I was just curious. Because I wanted to know how old this man is. Or if he's surpassed mortality. Because he was floating and rotating. Mysterious old guy totally detached from reality. And not just in the mental way. Seems physically as well. Anyway. It could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth. He's a ghost. Hey, I mean, we do have a spirit medium here. That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a false one, you will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear? Huh? That wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it. It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright. Oh boy. Now, ready your sword. Ready? Were you listening? Oh, holy shit, thank you for the bits. It is the same thing. You claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime. Can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Doughy Defender, show us where this witch was at the exact moment the murder took place. Had to be around here, right? Because, like, if we look at the Grimoire, it says, like, 1 meter radius. So, like, they're probably too far.
Got it!
The witch must have been standing here.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barn, I suggest you try taking a look at this. The Grand Grimoire. According to this tome, Ignius summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection!
Of course, you needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection!
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there is one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight. Most intriguing, since you seem to love showing evidence. Prove it! How is the witch able to hide in plain sight? The goddamn Vanishing Spell.
Take that!
Gotcha. This Talia Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignize and 1 other spell. That's right, the spell Demir. Demir? Duh! It cannot be! Witches are famously unable to hide in a bush. So true. That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene. Only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Demir. What foolishness is this? Order! Order in the court! Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Demir to make Talia Magica disappear.
Objection!
According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Demir, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear. Are you implying this? I'm sorry, reading. Are you implying that is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses? Indeed it is, which means witnesses. Someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. God, they are they are using every like combination of words except Among Us, huh? Honestly, Chad move. I know this game came out before that, but still. I believe this is the most probable scenario. God. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not?
That's right. We are not witches.
Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right. I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group. The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial. You wish to know where we all were standing tonight? Matters not. The flames not burn just the same.
That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blaze were roasting, so I rushed right over.
I heard the incantation, and the flame suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
As I said, only 3 others present, like that man there, who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch amongst the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim. I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim in this case of a spell being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. The testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is. Alright, let's go. Let me take another drink because I'm starting to flub lines again.
Hold it!
In other words, you're not sure exactly what happened tonight. Is that right? Defender, I fought with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts. You think how if the language hadn't changed and evolved, the game might have been called Amongst Us? Maybe. Right. A knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Ha! No one even said anything about running away. If I may be perfectly straight with you, the pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There, by the fire, was the witch, and excluding the 2 unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
What?
Oh?
Hang on!
Oh, the music didn't stop. Excuse me, Miss Kira?
What do you want?
You looked like you had something to say.
Well, it was about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the Daisy Pedal game?
The Daisy Pedal game?
1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses.
What an adorable game. It seems like something out of a fairy tale. Seriously, Your Honor? Anyway, you may continue your testimony, witness. Bitch is just counting sheep in court, except instead of sheep, it's witnesses. Although in some terms you can call these witnesses sheep. Because we got the fucking goat in there! But a goat is not a sheep, Harry. I never saw anything quite like it. Literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blaze were roasting, so I rushed right over. Heard the incantation, and the flame suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us. As I said, there were only 3 others present, like the man there who was stumbling around like a newborn calf.
Hold it!
Oh, wait, you mean some guy, right? So including yourself, there was a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it has come to pass. No way. What do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf? Ah, yes, that is as inebriated as he is loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say. He must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over. You got something to say about that? You wanna you really do just be pouring it, huh? Doesn't run out, does it? You just keep going, buddy. Not even Manfred von Karma.
Hang on!
You know what? Good point. Exception. There's an exception to every rule. Is something the matter, mister? Mister! Whoa, tone on the volume, Bluey. No, he's going straight to hell. Ayo! Nice. That's my line. Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness. Looks like this guy managed to scare Barnum half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed that you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that? I'm gonna set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling around anyway. I'd like to think of you staggering with style. A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night. Hey, look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, I kind of tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you and you're running at full pelt, right? So, I could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run. How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal. My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning? Is there anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? Question further. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you? Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere, so I heard someone call out my name. You heard your name? Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? Woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right? So you heard someone call out, "Hey, you," from behind, you mean? What? I said they called out my name! How many guys do you know called "Hey, you"? In this world, that's not out of the question, though. Me name is Amir, and don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me? I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Amir.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh?
That's harsh. Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now?
Not at all. He's always just been mister to me.
A knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries. It is the first I've heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Amir. Yeah, he'll always be some guy to me.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I remember the names of my most loyal customers.
Okay, looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name. You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I definitely heard someone call me name. You get to be me age, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been my sweetie. Bruh.
Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Amir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the most important parts of your story. Alright, one more time, I will be right back. I'm sorry. I just have something to attend to very quickly. Be back before you know it. Again. I did the wrong thing again. I always click to the console one first instead of the... whatever. We're back. Where's the audio? There it is. Okay, fuck. Ugh. I'm telling you, I heard someone call me name and I was looking around trying to find her. I hurried to the scene, but then I ended up tripping when I heard someone call me name from behind. For real? Hold it! Excuse me, Amir. Don't sweat it, Billy. Mr. Hayu, it's all the same to me. You stated that you heard your name being called from behind, but are you absolutely sure about that? Well, right or wrong, it just sounded like my name. I mean, what else could it have been? I wouldn't have remembered it happening if I hadn't heard something, right? Still, maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? Anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me. From somewhere behind you? Okay. Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Mr. Amir's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, there's definitely something there. Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction? Yeah, I think so. Although, I don't know, there's just something strange about his testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help. Do you mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence?
Objection!
My lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time. Defender, I must warn you. From here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly. If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and for Isabella. If you're intent on finding a fault in this witness's testimony, you will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims. There's not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now? Mr. Wright? Mr. Layton? I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence. A weapon? Now, defender, give us your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The defense finds that this witness's testimony contains a clear contradiction. Your Honor, the defense believes there's a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection!
Whoop. Surprised he doesn't break the fucking desk in half at some point. What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection!
If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnum, allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. Whatever do you mean? You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the one remaining weapon in this course examination. Remaining weapon? This trial has taught us a valuable new technique that can be used in the court, has it not?
You mean questioning, right, Professor?
Indeed it is. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what has occurred. Therefore, whatever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing. There's something else we can get for a 5-person cross-examination. That's right! Of course! Indeed, Mr. Wright. Contradictions. Should one's witness testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not? Testimony contradicting testimony? Never would have thought of that until now. Enough! Sir Blue Knight, are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving the contradiction with this witness's testimony? That witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts the testimony. What are you talking about? It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touchscreen. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question as well as those of other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony.
All right, let's give this another shot, Nick. And make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too.
Alrighty. I heard you this scene, I ended up tripping when I heard someone call my name from behind. Throwing himself just burned just the same. It literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. Okay, wait. She was behind him, though, right? Yeah! So that would be it, right?
Objection!
Yeah, dual point! The person contradicting this man's testimony is none other than you, Miss Kira.
Are you both pointing at me?
At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name. That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak. This is a clear contradiction.
Objection!
What? What is the meaning of this, defender? Can you really claim to trust this sham of a witness and his sham of a testimony? Damn, Amir really hitting us with the...
Objection!
That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over. He heard a woman's voice calling his name, a very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection!
If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible.
That's right, why me? People barely hear me when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Me? What are you getting at, young lady? You honestly think a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with questionable men? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him? Neither did I. And even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want? God damn, you're fucking killing him. Jeez. Come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know. I mean, I'm not saying it's entirely unwarranted, but as I was saying, the only person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira. The defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim. To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is simply unheard of. I must warn you, defendant, you cannot prove your accusation to this court. You'll see the underside of my gavel. I'm going to hit you with the goddamn... Show us the evidence proving this young lady was the one who called out to this man at the time of the crime. Oh, jeez. Well, I have a theory. Nah, I'm kidding. I fucking remember the answer from when I first played the game.
Take that!
My apologies, but I believe that may not be the correct piece of it. Oh shit, did I jump the gun? I think I jumped the gun. Yeah, wait, no. Fuck, I jumped the gun. Yikes, that was fast. Please, Mr. Wright, having come this far, do not falter here.
Mr. Wright, please stop kidding around. Listen to the professor.
Think about it, Mr. Wright. We've both been following the same train of thought until just now.
I'm sorry. I have to hurry up and think of something.
You can think all you want, Sir Baker, but not before taking a penalty. Fuck. And penalties are worth a damn in this game, too. Ugh. Now then, I will grant you another chance. It's the map. She was the only one behind him.
Take that!
Take a look at this and you'll have your answer. This is the crime scene sketch. You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person that he could possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection!
Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will tell you this only one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That's all there is to it. Did you, in fact, see this flower girl's face? You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face. Okay, but you heard her voice, right? Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere. It was kind of high-pitched, and I guess it kind of sounded like it. I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice. And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity. Huh? My lord, it is clear that the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting of such behavior. Indeed, Inquisitor. Ready yourself, defender. No, I can't take two. Come on, I can't take two. What is that laughter? Pardon me, my lord. Oh, thank God for the thank God for the characteristic Ace Attorney guilty laughter, causing us to avoid a penalty, or at least prolong it.
It looks like you finally arrived at a decision. That means this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers. I mean, look at all these flowers left over. It's going to take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock to help a girl out?
No, I don't think I mean...
Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption.
Understood. The court will dismiss the witness. Well, Miss Kira, it would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors.
Oh, whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone. Looks like that's that.
Hold it! Wait! You can't leave yet! This cross-examination isn't over yet.
That's funny. You say it isn't over, yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused, Espella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will.
This is bad.
If they let her walk out now...
Nick, do you think she could be...
The real witch?
You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender?
I just realized the speller's name is really spell incantation. Oh my god, basically.
Let me spell it out for you one last time, so even you can understand. I didn't know this pathetic man's name at all before today. I still don't even remember it. So, how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Hold it.
You get your ass back to this witness stand immediately. Excuse me. One moment, please, Miss Kira.
Is there something else you wanted?
You don't seem to realize what you just let slip.
What are you talking about?
This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time. Is that correct?
That's right. This weirdo is just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told us to us earlier.
There is just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying.
Huh?
What do you mean? That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was the name again? Like, Emil? Email? I can't think of any other similar sounding words, so maybe it's one of those two. Lord, I'm still here, you know. You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely? Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnum. Something else. Aha! Oh god, don't give me front-facing Phoenix. No. There's only one other thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. That's right, Mr. Wright. Yeah, that shot is dreadful. Oh. His eyes were also slightly going in opposite directions, God. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court?
This is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant.
It's like that one thing of two people touching their hands. Yeah, basically. Oh my god, you hit it on the head. Or alternatively, this face. You know, either or. Witness, what you're being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this court so long as any reasonable doubt remains. Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice this man heard tonight was really saying. Okay, now
Take
it's
that!
this. Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry, what's your name again? You've got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason. Hi, it's me,
Me name's Amir, Donna. How many times have I got to say it?
No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Amir. Did it update from some guy, by the way? No, it didn't! Okay, well, it did in the text, under some guy. But the court dictates his name is still some guy. God bless.
Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy.
Come on, guys, stop kicking a guy when he's down.
Mr. Amir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name. Another name? He can afford an endless bottle of booze, though. That's why he's bankrupt, because he got that magic beer. The answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Amir. Amir? What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name.
It was the name of a magical incantation.
What the? God, what a banger. Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated you didn't know this man's name.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, let me get this straight. You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl? And that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell? The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, the supposed witch, is not the defendant, Mrs. Spellicantabella. But instead, the witness who was heard uttering the magic incantation. Miss Kira! She's our witch! You used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Cantabella instead. Oh, is it about to happen?
No!
Okay, not yet.
What just happened?
Is that girl? Is a speller really not a witch?
Unbelievable! I've never heard anything like this. Inquisitor Barnum?
Have those two really defeated Inquisitor Barnum?
Objection!
An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already starting to dull. What do you mean? I am referring to a contradiction, naturally.
Hey, that's my line.
My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused Isabella Cantabella was surrounded by the two rogues. I mean, swords are cool. But yeah, you're right. We got fucking Black Quill. Well, he has like a sort of invisible, like fake sword thing he does. But it still technically is kind of like a sword. We got fucking Redacted from Great Ace Attorney. And now this guy.
I'm saying redacted because some people here haven't finished the games. Don't fucking say it.
Miss Kira cast the spell to mirror and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims. At which point she cast Ignize, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight. Also, I guess Ryunosuke has a sword, but he's a defense attorney, not a prosecutor. But play Great Ace Attorney. It's great, as the name implies. Indeed, that does seem to be the claim. The problem is what happened next. There is a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements. A contradiction in her movements? Allow me to continue.
witnesses have stated that they ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point, while still invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses. And there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight? That's correct. And Mr. Amir heard her call his name. Well then, I have but one question I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing? What do you mean? Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch.
Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch.
What?
What just happened?
Is that girl? Is Kira really not a witch?
Inquisitor Barnum just turned this entire trial right around. Just what I'd expect from Labyrinthia's Sword of Justice. Oop, front-facing angry Phoenix. Oh shit. Finally, I got a moment's peace.
That's right! You all heard it! It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said! Me! A witch! The idea is laughable!
Not good. She's completely bounced back onto her feet.
Ooh, we were so close too. I can't believe Inquisitor Barnum. Can't he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here.
Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail. Mr. Layton, I'm sure you have had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. This situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time? What would I usually do? Of course, there's only one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've got to flip this case on its head and think outside the box. It's bluffing time, baby. It would seem the defense has nothing further to add.
Why, of course. That's because everyone knows the truth. They know that girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, my lord.
Objection!
Situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnum. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, this entire case will start to unravel. Most fascinating. Very well. Allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Well, we're still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Isn't that like Catriel's line in the future game? The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the scene of the crime was to cover up her crime. Can't think of any other possibility. This has to be the answer. Isn't it obvious she was trying to cover up her own crime? Oh, is that right? Tell me, why would you do that? Well, just give me a minute, I'm getting to that part. That will not be necessary, Sir Blue Knight. Think about it. What would she have to hide if no one could have seen her to begin with? Shit.
You heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to disappear. Assuming I was the criminal, that is.
I can't argue with her there. Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case. Mr. Layton! Explain yourself, Sir Top Hat. You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira?
Huh? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence. Mr. Wright, I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear. What was so important that she had to reappear and risk being spotted? Defender, tell the court why it would have been necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Poor eyesight and wears glasses, but lost them a few days before the incident. Maybe if she lost her glasses, it would have been a matter. Maybe people would have suspected her because they were at the scene.
Take that!
Miss Kira, you usually wear glasses. Is that correct?
Huh?
Damn, she swallowed that shit. What?
It's like I already told you. I lost my glasses a few days ago.
You're absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight? During the crime?
Of course not. Part of a healthy diet, buy my flowers, etc., etc.
Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime. Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses.
No!
Objection!
I mean, the stems are kind of great, aren't they? How absurd! Such baseless conjecture. I realize that's a bit of a stretch, though. What you propose is fundamentally flawed. What do you mean? Let us assume, hypothetically, oh god, now I'm doing it, that the witch did in fact drop this evidence. That does not explain what purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness.
Objection.
Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan was simply not possible.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting? Yes. He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. Okay, this is it. Enlighten us. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear? Is it just me, or is my text box slightly more indented than usual? She couldn't find her glasses. The answer is simple, Your Honor. She couldn't find her glasses. She couldn't find them. If you noticed, she's still not wearing her glasses right now.
Objection!
Hold a moment, Sir Blue Knight. What does that have to do with anything?
That's right. It doesn't change a single thing.
Objection!
That's where you're wrong.
In fact, it changes things quite a bit.
Tonight, the two victims were engulfed by flames, courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the scene. It was at that point, something you didn't expect occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. Are you a Muppet, Poke? I don't know why I read that like I was British. That's right. You were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene, you would be suspected of being a witch.
Objection!
What foolishness! Even if her glasses were found. She simply could have explained that she dropped them days before the crime had happened. Okay, to be fair, also, I've been playing Grey's Attorney alongside Ollie with this game, so a lot of British stuff.
Objection.
You're infected by what is called being British? Fair. I'm afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Barnum. What did you say? If you recall, it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. And she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally, one would expect the glasses to be soaked in water and covered. However, the rain had already stopped at the time the crime itself was committed. So in other words, one look at the pair of clean, dry glasses would reveal she had dropped them later, thus implicating her as the witch.
No!
I should have known. I was perfecting my rainfall rending technique in the forest. Not once during the rainfall did I see that flower maiden traveling along the nearby path. That's not all. In order to frame Miss Cantabella as the witch, you need to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of the crime. I see. That would be the most definitive evidence that she is the witch. The objective here is to have somebody else discover the staff at the scene. Unless that person was I. However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce that spells were used simply by examining the magic gems on the scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used a mirror to vanish from sight and make her escape. That's why, Miss Kira, you were left with no option but to reappear at the crime scene. That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion if someone were to discover your glasses at the crime scene. By reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what had happened. What do you have to say to that, Miss Kira?
You know, I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over. So that's it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again. Over 1,000,000 times! I lost my glasses, I lost my glasses! Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. Ha! You can't prove it! In other words, you lose.
Damn. Yeah, the energy is there, yeah. I think she could have gone a little more unhinged with it, personally. I mean, that's just sort of the... Okay, not to get into this talk again, because as somebody who is a bit of a hobbyist voice actor, I think they might have, like, restrained themselves during the directing, which I feel, with the voice directing, which, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. Far from it. It's actually, like, better than a good majority of, like, visual novel voice acting stuff I've heard, but... You know, sometimes they just need to, you know, deliver it they need to deliver it with a bit more oomph. Anyway, yeah, she good. That is correct. Proving such a thing would indeed be impossible. To prove that the witness dropped her glasses at the crime scene. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? 'Tis indeed a question of proof, my lord. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of being a witch.
You heard the man. But we were so close!
Yeah, fair enough, yeah. Yeah, it's understandable, Carrick. That's also a very reasonable angle to go about it.
That girl's a witch! Can't anyone else see that? What should we do, Professor? Ah.
Well, it would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Wright? Yes, it certainly looks that way, Mr. Layton.
What's with that face? Did you find something funny here?
It is as you said, Inquisitor Bond. I mean, I've been going as all out as I can for like 3 hours, and my throat's fucking dry as shit, so yeah, I understand that.
Explain. The defense raises just one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses?
What do you mean?
You must have searched the area quite thoroughly looking for them. And yet, even now, the Knights have been unable to locate those glasses. Do you ever wonder why? Yes, that's become quite the mystery. Surely they must be around here somewhere. The glasses were lost to the wolves. That's the only explanation. There is still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight.
Huh? What did you say?
The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving only one other possible place. What is this? Two. Have at you, Sir Blue Knight! Draw your blade, and reveal to the court where the glasses are supposedly hiding. Looks like I've somehow managed to make it through my first witch trial. It all comes down to this. A final piece of evidence. Clear up this case once and for all. I leave the rest in your capable hands, Mr. Knight. Piece of evidence pointing to the one place not searched tonight is inside the lantern. No, it's the milk bucket.
Take that!
Tonight, there was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene right under everyone's noses. Inside the
Carried away?
I am speaking, of course, about this.
Duh.
That's the milk bucket that disappeared from the crime scene. Thus far, the defense's claim that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if, Miss Kira, we find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation will suddenly become fact. What manner of witchery?
What are you talking about? You're crazy, just crazy! No way can my glasses be inside that stupid bucket! That's just impossible!
How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? What do you say, Inquisitor Barnum?
Why didn't we dump it out earlier? I mean, they got on the goat lady's case for cleaning the underside of the bucket, so I can kind of understand them not wanting to tamper with it any further, but also, yeah, check this shit. Come on, it's a bucket. It's spoiled as fuck. I do not envy the person who has to reach in there. Or, you know, maybe they'll just dump it out. I don't know. God, they just fucking dump it out, and it's like that part in the fucking SpongeBob episode where Gary goes missing, and it just fucking comes out as like a solid chunk. Oh, God.
That'll just waste the court's time! Don't listen to them! Don't!
It is mandated that the Knights of the Inquisition investigate any and all possibilities during the course of a trial. My lord, the Inquisition requests that this milk bucket be searched immediately. Very well. Jesus Christ! How long was this sitting out again? All night, sir. Oh my god. Oh. What? What? Damn, you wiped the milk chunks out of those glasses quite fast. Perry, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Miss Kira, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk bucket. The truth is out. Nothing you say can change that now. Which leads us to the next question. Specifically, a question of when. When did you drop your glasses into the milk bucket? What? I almost misspelled milk as milk. I would much prefer a chunky milk to a chunky milk. I'm not even going to, like, pretend I didn't say that. Why is this happening? This whole thing is ridiculous! The answer is obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards, after I ran over to see the fire. I took a tiny peek inside that milk bucket. That's when they fell in.
Objection! Don't be stupid, child. Snowy and I were at the singing first. We made sure to take that milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little mitts on it. You're not going to let a single soul get anywhere near that sweet, creamy bucket of deliciousness. You can bet my farm on that.
Taste that shit if it's so delicious still. Each of these 4 witnesses has stated they heard the spell Ignites being cast at the time of the incident. According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignite summons a circle of flame within a 1-meter radius of the caster. In other words, the real witch must have been at Miss Cantabella's side at the time of the incident. Indeed, that is when the glasses fell into the milk bucket. Therefore, there's only one logical conclusion. Only one person can be the true witch. Also, yeah, fuck, the glasses in the milk bucket. That's the sploosh that the wordsmith heard, huh?
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
Bucket. Well, actually, basket. That's a basket that hit her. Oh boy! They got her up there fast! See, these people are ready to kill. What a very strange trial this has been. From the very beginning, we have all paid witness to a most unusual set of circumstances. A baker turned offender, a surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. Never have I seen such a spectacle. Is this really happening? The girl inside the cage? You mean she's the real witch? But what about that Estella Cantabella girl?
Miss Kira. Tell us why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this.
I did not almost misspell that.
So
it's morbid.
why
It's
Estella
morbid
Cantabella?
Do you have any idea what it feels like to be a witch?
What it feels like?
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for these powers, but I have them. And now here I am, begging for my life.
Born
I was
into
living
witchery.
such a peaceful life until now. Selling flowers, getting scolded by my boss for not selling enough of them.
I mean, yeah, in this time period, I can understand that, but if I was born into witchery, you know, not such a bad fate. But in this time period, yeah, I totally get it.
That's why I was trying to put an end to these trials once and for all.
Put an end to the trials.
You all know what I mean? The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials.
When the great witch Bezella has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul
Man,
in
they are
sight.
really letting me have a break this time. I
I
appreciate it.
always carried my hidden Talea Magica with me in case of a moment like this.
Magica. Okay. Talea Magica. I did not pronounce that right once. Cool.
I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What? What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly? Are you actually accusing Espella Cantabella?
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time.
You could say she's a Miss Judge does kind of sound like the Stanley Parable narrator, though. Yeah, kinda.
She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Part of the story?
Oh no, it really does!
Objection! That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please. I know you've all noticed it too. You could end this. All of this. That girl. It's all because of that girl. I beg you. Please. Please release me.
Okay, so I just checked. Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, unsurprisingly and unfortunately, not the same guy. Would have been funny if it was, though.
Knights of the Court, isn't it your duty to protect the people of this town? Give me another chance!
That is where you're wrong.
Huh?
'Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk.
God.
The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch.
Y'all, you can't
The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword.
No!
Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please, wait! Stop! Please, just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials... Let me take her place. Let me be Bezella. Send me to the flames. But please, if it would save her life...
This trial has proven
Oops.
beyond the shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira,
Guilt.
is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Okay, I looked away for half a second, and I thought he said according to the lore.
Did he say executed? He can't mean.
This is most unsettling.
Bailiff, ready the fire.
Sorry, Phoenix. Sorry, Layton.
No! Don't do
You were
this!
complicit in a murder, technically.
Huh? Listen to me! Don't let her fool you! Isabella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Brazilla! Take her! And then these witch trials will be no more! The witch trials will end!
I just want to know what they thought they were going to accomplish by running over to the thing. Because the chains are like up high, and she's up high, and they're not. So far, we've always managed to pull off a win and get a not guilty verdict, but winning has never felt this depressing. Rat in the corner. Oh, Espella, are you all right?
Yes, I just want to thank all of you. You all came to my rescue yet again.
Yeah, of course we did.
Oh, hold on a sec, Espella. What did you just say now? You all came to my rescue yet again? You don't mean... Yes, I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose this makes this the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me.
Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and Espella have met before? Okay, front-facing Layton isn't nearly as cursed as front-facing Wright, but it gives me, like, the energy that I've done something wrong. Yeah, it seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton? Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired. Much better. Okay, what should we discuss? What happened in London? Spella paid us a visit in London. She had in her possession a letter from an old acquaintance of mine. Is that right?
Mr. Accidenti helped drive Espella straight out of Labyrinthia. You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me. Wait, did you say witches? So they appeared in London too?
Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. When we saw you last, it seemed you managed to escape courtesy of that passing freighter.
Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you after that, Espella? I rode the ship along the river for a while before arriving at a nearby port. And then... that's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya. I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there.
Please accept my sincerest apologies. I'm afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it.
No, please don't blame yourself, Mr. Layton. I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for something. Anything on that ship that might help me. Boy, you sure found something all right. Or rather, someone. Ran into a master thief working as part of the ship's crew. Yes, that's right. Did you say master thief? Crikey, that's amazing. I'd love to meet one of those thieves one day.
I'll have the art skills to make it, but imagine that one Megamind me, but it's Barnum saying no witches. God damn it. I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing.
After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me.
I see. Then perhaps somewhere deep within your mind must have existed memory of that previous trial, and of Mr. Wright. Hence why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening.
That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history in that day in jolly old England.
Please don't make fun of our accents.
Did you just say he made history? Wow, that's incredible, right, Professor?
Man, my impression of an American making fun of a British accent as an American is really paying off. I wouldn't exactly say I made history.
But then, after that, I was never able to find my way back to the professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding that clue, it ended up being taken away from me.
A clue, you say?
Yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy.
That tag was a clue? Clue for what? Okay, what should we discuss? The tag, I guess? Yeah.
I had a lot of time to think while I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things. Like about, you know, women are actually quite adorable. I mean, like how to try and find a way back once the ship had arrived at its destination. Things like that.
Find a way back?
A way back to Mr. Layton and Luke. They were the only ones I knew I could depend on to help me.
The pleasure was ours, Espella.
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived.
Huh? You mean London, Espella?
No, London, England. I don't know a country named Espella. Oh, that's it, London. That's what was written in Carmine's letter to Mr. Layton. The blue teddy bear I found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck.
Sorry, Espella, but PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear.
On the tag, it said in very small letters.
And the tag in very small letters was written in London.
I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be the address.
That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police.
Oh, that's right. Espella, you must have known that address was super important, so that's why you kept the tag, right?
That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again.
I just felt so lonely and helpless.
I wonder, though,
Who do you think really did it?
hit Olivia over the head with a pipe, I mean. Beat her head with a lead pipe. What's this?
Oh yeah, I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was. I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches.
What? You mean the witches that were chasing us through London?
Indeed, it could be that they noticed your escape onto that ship and managed to infiltrate their own way aboard.
Could it be? So, you're saying there was some big scary witch lurking around the inside of that cargo hold?
I'm afraid that is a rather high possibility.
Those witches...
Oh, those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia, no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture. Ah, in other words, the situation with Miss Al Dente, you mean. I had noodles al dente the other day. Would not recommend. Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious and attempted to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, and that you ended up in court regardless. And that's when she became my client. That was al dente, that was fucking raw. True, true.
I just can't clearly remember anything that happened back then.
I love how I didn't even take a picture of this shit. Just my descriptions and how I was talking about it. Y'all know I fucked up.
Maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about Espella at the time.
Mr. Wright, Espella was introduced to you at the time as a schoolgirl, correct?
Yeah.
She would have no knowledge of the world outside Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom, she would pose a serious problem. Yet someone must have been attempting to cover up Espella's identity.
What? But Professor, could someone really do that?
That they could indeed. And if it is as I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought. Who's exactly... who or what are we dealing with here?
Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us with one heck of a pastry feast. Oh, actually, I can't go home just yet.
Huh? You can't?
Oh. Well, there are still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you all go on ahead without me.
Is that so? Very well.
I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything.
Alrighty then, Espella. We'll catch you later.
Yes. Farewell for now.
Whew. Mr. Wright, please allow me the pleasure of a proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton. I am a professor of archaeology in London.
Professor?
Huh. Well, my name is Phoenix Wright. I'm an attorney. As I suspected, you were no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe I'd been a baker all my life, but the more everyone kept saying it, the less I was sure that it was actually true. Just where did that memory come from anyway?
Hey, Professor! If Mr. Wright is an attorney, that must mean he's as smart as you, right?
I'm afraid I can't really say, Luke.
But behind every ace attorney, there's an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant.
I think you also forgot humble.
My name's Luke Triton. I'm a professor's apprentice. I'm Maya Fey. And Nick here's my apprentice. Isn't that right, Nicky boy?
Nicky, hey, wait, why am I your apprentice?
Anyway, we should all head back to the bakery. Let's get a move on. I'm sure Espella will be back before we know it.
I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. Front-facing Barnum, front-facing Barnum. Inquisitor Barnum! Most impressive work tonight. It's a shame you have kept such ability hidden until now.
Trust me, Nick's lawyer's abilities beat the pants off his baking abilities any day of the week.
Okay, moving on. What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't Espella go home? New charges have been brought against Mrs. Bella Cantabella.
What? No way, that can't be right.
You have realized that, haven't you? She is being charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Bezella.
She what?
How can that be? Am I to assume that charge is based? No, it isn't. But is it based purely on Miss Kira's accusation? It was not I who made the decision.
Huh?
Regardless, the girl will return to court at the appointed time for further trial. Until then, I have to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. Pardon me, Inquisitor, when exactly is this appointed time? The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. This charge is quite cringe, Inquisitor Barnum. I think Layton's voice just fucking elevates that. God. That would be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed. What the? It would appear the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you. Spella. Spella Cantabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. Its visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately. Espella, the legendary Great Witch Bezella? The story that dictates the fate of an entire town, and now a so-called Great Witch named Bezella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers to these mysteries. But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we gonna find any evidence?
You know, I was thinking... How do you address a Great Witch? Hail to the magnificent magical one. Or maybe just, what's up, witchy baby?
God bless that line. What difference would it make? She's called a Great Witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet. I believe I've thought of a solution to our problem. It's actually rather simple. Professor Layton? Allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents
is if we join forces. Together we... He's right. We've come this far. There's no way we're just gonna give up on Espella. Okay, I'm on board. I look forward to teaming up with you, Professor.
Me too, Luke. Me too, Maya.
I keep seeing that rat skull around. Now then, shall we proceed on? This marks the beginning of our own story. One dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands. Whew! To be continued. I'm exhausted. For now, I'm gonna call it. But remember, we do this as many Wednesdays as I can. So yeah, next Wednesday, we will be back with more Layton versus Wright. But tomorrow, I will be checking out... Honestly, I'm thinking multiple demos, if the first one I'm doing is short. But we're good. But at the least, we're going to be checking out the demo for Gloomwood, a game that has been on my radar for a long time. And then on Saturday, we will continue with Resident Evil 4 in the Resident Evil retrospective. Yes, I'm replaying it. I don't have a problem. Thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching this show. And I will see you all next time. Goodbye.